came to win, to fight, to conquer, to thrive.
Welcome to class. Today's lesson is art terminology in two and three-dimensional form. What is art terminology? Art terminologies are a body of words that are peculiar to art. They are words commonly used in art and are simply referred to as art languages. For instance, the word donkey is an animal in everyday use, but in art terms or language, a donkey means a seat used for drawing. So, we are going to look at the first word, which is applique. Applique. Here are good examples of applique. They are design made on fabrics using threads and needle. They make drawings on fabrics and then use different colors of thread to make illustration of this nature. Now, applique or ornamental needles work. Applique or ornamental needleworks in which pieces of fabrics are sewn or stuck onto a large pieces to form a pictorial or pattern. Here we can see some composition of images. Here are good examples of applique. Here we have different shapes of dogs and colors. These works are done with threads sewn on top of a fabric. The next word is calligraphy, the art of producing decorative handwriting or lettering with a pen or brush. Yes, calligraphy actually originated from the Islamic way of writing, and here is a good example of the Islamic way of writing, then which was later coined into our alphabet, which is this. Now you can see stylized handwriting using calligraphy, and you also have a special pen for calligraphic writing. Then the next one is abstract art. Abstract art is a form of art that deals with the non-existence of objects. They are art movements that deals on imagination, the use of shapes, colors, lines in different forms. Now, what is abstract art? Abstract art is the art that does not attempt to represent an accurate depiction of a visual reality, but instead use shapes, color forms, gestural marks to achieve its effect. Here are good examples or illustration of abstract art. Most abstract arts have deep meanings and philosophy. Only the artists that create them can actually tell us what they mean or signify. And the next word is serigraphy. Serigraphy is a type of print making, and it deals with the use of screen, scourge, pens of different colors. Now, serigraphy is the artist term for silk screen printing, a process which involves a stencil and ink which is forced through a silk or screen or draw all through. Now, this is a mesh. This is what we call mesh or screen or silk screen. A mesh or silk screen. This silk screen, a design is made upon. You can see a design on it right now. After this design has been created, the artist pour ink on the surface of this silk screen. After pouring the ink, then he tried to spread the ink around using this device which is called a scourge to spread the ink. After spreading the ink, he placed the silk screen on top of a fabric. This is a fabric or paper. Then As he spread the ink on this silk screen, the impression creates on the fabric, like what you are seeing right now. We have a lot of this in our studio, and we've carried out a lot of practical using a silk screen printing. And this is the different procedure for silk screen printing. And most of our clothes are designed using silk screen printing. The next is cartoon. Cartoon. This is one type of art that kids are fond of. TV, on books, illustrations, and newspaper, magazines, you find cartoons all around. Now, what is cartoon? A cartoon is a humorous or satirical drawings published mostly in newspaper and magazines. Here are good examples of cartoons. These ones are commonly shown on TV programs, and they are popular cartoon illustrations. Then the next one is caricature. Caricature. Caricature is one art movement that has been in existence for some time and is becoming accepted by people, where people faces are being stressed, or they try to stress on part of the human face, and the face still retain the resemblance. So what is a cartoon? What is a caricature? Sorry, caricature. A caricature picture trying to imitate a person's behavior or look by stressing certain features of the persons to amuse people. Here are good example of caricature. There's a picture of a popular comedian, and you can see the way the face, the nose are stressed, the ear are stressed. And here are other good examples of caricature pictures of notable stars around. Yes, this is another one. Okay, here you can see another stressed face, and the resemblance still remains. The next one is embroidering, the art of making beautiful designs or cloth with needle and thread. Here's a good example of embroidering, using needles to create. Here they try to create geometric shapes, and these other pictures, they actually worked on flowers. And here's another good one where flowers are being stitched on a fabric. And here's another beautiful one. Then the next one is Izo. Izo. Izo is a three-stand post which the artist places his board, canvas, and carry out his work. As you can see, there are some pictures of Izo. An Izo is a stand for holding a canvas or board when painting or drawing. And here are good examples of Izo. They come in wooden frames, iron or alloys of different kinds, and normally they have bags where you can tuck in them, where you can fold them and put them inside the bag. The next one is pyro engraving. Pyro engraving. This is another kind of art that is not common in this part of the world. It's the use of hot metal to inscribe designs on flat surfaces like wood, calabash. Here are good examples of pictures of pyroengraving. Pyroengraving is the art of using hot materials to create designs on a surface. Yes, as you can see, these are illustrations of pyroengraving designs using hot metal to create designs on wood or any other soft materials. Here is a calabash which has been designed using hot metal. Here's another one trying to create a landscape drawing on a flat surface. And here's another device hot metal that are being used to carry out designs on wood or any other soft materials. And the next one is etching. Etching. Etching is a process whereby unwanted part of a soft or hard material is being chipped out. Here we have a lino cut material which we have a design of fish and waves of water. And as you can see close, if you look closely, you find out that some areas, unwanted areas, have been chipped out. And this other picture here, this other photo picture here, you see how the papers are being cut out, designs are being cut out, the unwanted areas are being cut out, then leaving the wanted areas. Yeah, you see how metals are being, designs are being created on metal, chipping out the unwanted areas. So etching, this involves the process of cutting or corroding a surface to create a design that is used for printing. The surface is etched sometimes with acid. And here's another good example of etching. Most times etching comes in different forms. It can be on wood, it can be on nylon material, soft materials, it can be on paper, so on and so forth. And the next one is foreshortening. Foreshortening, this word is related to drawings and painting. Foreshortening, here a good example of foreshortening is an art or an impression whereby the aspect of the part of the body that is closer to the artist seems to be larger than other parts of the body. Now, what is foreshortening? Foreshortening, an effect of certain objects and figures are altered, and perspective and viewpoint by which the shape and proportion made smaller or shorter when drawing or painting. Yeah, you can see from this, from this drawing, the toe, the feet seems to be larger than other parts of the body, and it is a rule of perspective. You know, in perspective, the rule of perspective is that objects that are closer to the artist seems to be bigger than other parts of the object that are far from the artist. Likewise, this hand is closer to the artist. This part of the hand or finger is closer to the artist. So the laws of perspective tend to apply where other part is smaller or show distance. Likewise, this also, you see this finger seems to be bold and very visible, while other part of the body becomes a little bit smaller. That's the rules of perspective, and it's being applied on the human body. That is what we refer to when we use the word foreshortening. And here's another good example, another good picture of this. The legs, the toes seems to be both large, bigger than the other part of the body. This is a good example of foreshortening. And the next word is loom. Loom. Loom is a weaving device, most times in wooden frames, where strips of threads are lined upon to create fabrics. We have different shapes of loom in different countries with their different design. So what is loom? A prepared weaving frame on which strips of threads are fixed vertically to form wrap, and another passes over and under the wrap to form weft. Here are good examples of loom. On this loom, you can see already woven cloth or fabric. Here is another good one, a small loom, but clothes are being woven on top on it. And here you can see the yarn which are used for the weaving, and you can see looms with different shapes and sizes. This art practice is common with the textilist. And the next one is pastel. Pastel. What is pastel? Pastel is a chalk-like color that is not permanent. Pastel is used for creating or painting or drawing landscape drawings, portraitures, designs, but they are not permanent. They can easily wear off or clean off. So what is pastel? Pastel is a substance like chalk for drawing or painting. Here you can see good pictures or drawings and designs of pastel. But one thing about pastel design is that they are not permanent. Pastel can be used for drawing. Then after drawing, you need foams to create blends or fabrics like what you can see on this picture. The pastel has been used for drawing. The artist is trying to create a blend, and you can see something, a white fabric on his finger trying to create blends. So pastels are chalk-like colors which are used for drawing or painting, but they are not permanent. You will need a fixative to make them permanent. And the next word is fixative. Fixative. Now you can see this picture that is spilling right now is a charcoal portraiture. A charcoal portraiture is a kind of pencil that is very dark, but we call them, they are classified as charcoal. They are used for drawings. And here is another illustration or design using pastel. We have some other pastel work coming up, yes, and this one that charcoal work. Now after drawing using charcoal or pastel, they are not permanent. In my previous slide, I talked about pastel, that they are not permanent. So after making designs, the next thing you need to do when you finish making your design, creating your design using pastel and charcoal, the next thing you need to apply is fixative. Fixative. And this is how fixative look. Here are good examples of fixative. This is a good example of fixative. A fixative is a sprayed chemical which helps to make a chalk pastel painting permanently on backgrounds. So yes, you can see these are good example of drawing and painting mediums that are not permanent. So after making your drawings or designs with this medium, pastel or charcoal, you need this fixative to actually make the design permanent.